if you need to adjust that for anything, then feel free, but have at it, guys.
All right, so it looks like we're live then. All right. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to a fundamentals jiu-jitsu class. Me and Ruben here are going to be showing, just so you know, my name is Shane. Most of you, everyone should know me, I think, and Ruben. So we are covering today for Tony and Mira, and so we're just gonna keep going with the side control. I think the last one Brian did, I think it was Brian. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway, we're gonna go with some side control, and we're gonna start off with a submission, but the head and arm choke or an arm triangle. So we're gonna have you go into side control here on the bottom. So with this one here, when I like to do the arm triangle from this particular position is once we get in here, Ruben's gonna have his frames in, right? And we're gonna be kind of looking to have our left hand, the hand that's underneath the head, is gonna kind of hook onto his lat there, the armpit lat area. All right, so we're gonna be sure we're bringing him in close and tight. And as I'm feeling him kind of push, because people are always gonna be trying to frame. So one, I don't want to be having my face like this, so he's like pushing on my neck. So I'm kind of having my head turned, and I'm feeling his arm pushing forward. And so as he's pushing forward, I'm gonna push up on his elbow to clear it from my neck. I'm gonna get my head down here and trap it. And then I kind of have my eyes like looking up to kind of help pin his arm to his head. And now my right arm here is going to be stuck up against his hip. And if you notice that my left leg is up by his shoulder, my right leg is also blocking his right hip. So as we're in here, this is to kind of keep him in place so he can't really move away. If my elbow's not here, he's going to be able to move his hips out of the way. So the elbow is going to keep him in place. And now I need to make sure, get my knees over onto this side. So what I like to do is I'm either going to put my arm along his hip line to keep his legs from coming up, because if I get sloppy and I start to bring this over, he could grab my leg and pull me into a half guard. So I'm going to avoid that by putting my arm across his hip here, push that down. That'll allow me to pick my right knee up and go on to push it onto his stomach. And from here, I'm going to windshield wiper. All right. And now this hand's here is outside, just in case if he like tries to bump or something. If you bump, I have some base, right? And so my eyes are still looking up here. And now I'm going to bring my leg down. I'm going to make actually a fist with this hand, my left hand, and then my right hand's going to go underneath it. Make sure my hips are low. And now I'm going to squeeze and kind of like push up with my palm. And that'll get the tap. So again, we're here in side control, right? And I think I saw in one of the last ones, Brian, he actually was doing this, swimming his leg in to go with like a staple. I mean, you can even do this just to isolate the arm and have it resting up on your thigh here. And so Ruben's still trying to push. He's pushing up. I pass it through, lock it in place with my head, and I'm looking up. If I have my head down, this leaves a lot of open space. So I look up, and it kind of keeps it from being able to move around. You know, and then the lower my head is, the better. Because if I have space and he's able to bring it down and around, so the lower the head is, better. I'm going to bring my hand onto the side, onto his hip, come into the knee on belly, and windshield wiper over, making sure I have my hand out here to post, just in case he decides to bridge. Now I'm going to bring my hips down, make a fist with my left hand, palm underneath it, squeeze, and push up.
Should we show it from another?
Yeah, let's go from this side here. I'm going to have you come back this way, Ruben. All right, so one more time. We're here in side control. We can swim our leg around to isolate that left arm, right? And I have this hand here has got a hold of his armpit lat, right? And so I'm like so, and as Ruben's pushing, I'm gonna push that up, trap it with my head, making sure I'm blocking the hip here so he can't move. When I'm ready, I'm gonna kind of like sloth grip this here, and I'm using this so I can get my leg up without having to worry about him trying to catch it or even squeeze a knee inside. From here, I'm gonna windshield wiper. Hand stays out in case he bridges and I need to post. Now I can drop down, make a fist with the left hand, palm on my right hand, palm up, squeeze, and we get the tap. I'm gonna try it out there. All right. So here, we're grabbing the lat, and so
Pinning.
you can swim your leg through. Yep, there you go. Isolate the arm.
Yes.
I'm pushing. Make sure you turn your head so you're not getting choked right. That gets through. Yep.
Yep.
Head's looking up. He's blocking the hips. Knee on belly there. Windshield wiper. Make sure you got a post out there in case I decide to bridge. Then you can drop down. Get the hips down. That's tight. Let's do it one more time. Let's go from this side here. So here I'm trying to frame because I'm trying to create space here, and Ruben wants to not let me have that. So he swims his leg. I'm pushing. He feeds that. Trapping my arm with his head. Make sure he's getting his head low to the ground so I can't get my arm to come around. Knee on belly. You know, windshield wiper. Have his hand out for posting. In case I decide to bridge. And he's gonna drop his hips. Make the fist fall up. And the head and arm choke. Now there's lots of variations from that. You know, you can do that from obviously moving from side control. You can do that from mount, even moving from half guard. But that is a side control, more or less. It's just getting your legs to the other side is what changes from the other positions. Another side control submission that we're going to go is the armbar from side control. So again, I have Ruben down here, and then I have you go back on that side. There you go. And yeah. So again, Ruben can have his frames in here again. And I think with this one here, actually swimming the leg through is going to make this a little bit easier. All right. And so as Ruben's kind of pushing up, this arm is kind of like, it's in my way. So I'm going to grab him by like the bicep, but I'm going to like sloth grip, right? So I have my hand with a little hook, little hooky hand. And I'm going to grab this, hook his arm, and I'm going to rotate it out until I can get my elbow onto his stomach, right? So you'll see that on the next angle, right? And this is going to allow me to get my head in here. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to post my hand, pick my hips up, over to the side. And so now I have my foot underneath his shoulder blade. And then obviously this leg is over his head. So now I'm starting to squeeze my legs. I'm going to drop this down. If you can get his head to turn, that's even better. I'm going to swoop his arm up, make sure the thumb is up, and go back down. So one more time from this particular angle. So we're here. He's got the frame up, and he actually has that. And so I'm going to swim my leg through, isolate that arm, catch this one here, sloth grip his bicep, pull it inward. If I can get the hand on the outside, I definitely want the hand on the outside of my head here. Bring my left arm here to post. come up, around, pinch. You can extend that leg, get his head to turn, and bring it back down. We'll do one more from this angle here. I'm going to do it this way here, just like that. All right. So, as we're in side control, I'm going to swim my left leg to isolate his right arm, get that out of my way. So now with this one here, you can even almost push this forward to get his arm to kind of come out more. There we go. Put some weight into the stomach there. I'm going to post, come up, underneath, foot's underneath his shoulder blade. I'm going to straighten out my right leg, squeeze my legs, make sure that thumb is up, and then bring it back down.
Do we want to be doing like shoulder of justice? Do we want to be doing that? Is that an important part?
Yeah, I definitely did not mention that. With all of these, thanks for bringing that up, we're making sure you have shoulder pressure. Ideally, your shoulder pressure is going to be making their head turn, right? Ruben wants to turn into me, and I don't want him to do that. So shoulder pressure, try and get them to look away from you. All right, let you go ahead and try the arm bar there. So, yeah. Getting this. And then you're going to sloth grip my bicep there, and you're going to pull it around so you can get the stomach. Yes, there you go. Now try and get your head onto that side of my hand. You can post, come up, spin around. Just like that. So you got your left foot underneath my shoulder. And then you can even straighten that out so you can get my head to turn. And fall back. Let's do that one more time. So he's going to isolate my right arm by swinging his leg through and getting on the inside. Sloth gripping my left arm and pulling his stomach, pulling his elbow to his stomach, posting with his left arm to come around. Foot falls onto the bicep or the shoulder blade, leg across the face, and the arm bar. The arm bar is kind of tricky. There's one thing that I forgot to mention when I'm kind of going for this particular move here. Is from when I have the arm isolated here and I grab the bicep, put this on this side here, and when I'm coming up around this side, I don't want them to stay flat. So as I have this grip, I kind of want to bring him up onto the side, which creates the space for me to get my left leg underneath his shoulder blade, right? Now I feel like there's no space between my shoulder or his shoulder and like my like growing area where essentially like I'm doing the arm bar. And so you can see that just there's no space there. And so again, as I'm moving around, once we get the arm isolated and I have this and I'm putting the pressure in his stomach here, I want him to kind of be up. Because now I have all this space to get my legs into position. And then I can go for the arm bar. I'm going to try that out with that little detail. And get your head on the other side. Oh, yeah. So here, in the post, come around. There you go. That's tighter. And then make sure the thumb is pointed up. and tap. All right. So yeah, that's it really for those two particular moves there.
Let's check it for questions.
Yeah, any
No.
negative. So yeah, that is the head and arm choke coming in from side control and a arm bar from side control as well. So questions or comments, leave them below, and then maybe someone else will get into those next time to answer those. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you later.